Welcome to the Professional Athletes Foundation.
Smocks and Jocks.
Smocks and Jocks.
And Smocks and Jocks at home.
At home. At home.
Please welcome to the stage, Andre Collins, PAF Executive Director and former NFL linebacker 1990 to 1999.
Hi, I'm Andre Collins, and welcome to the 16th annual Smocks and Jocks at Home. Literally, we're at home, but the show must go on. Hopefully, we've put together a wonderful program for you today where we've got live music. We've got another musical performance by former player Joe Barksdale. We've got Chef Nancie doing a cooking demo. So we're still going to have brunch, but it's just going to be a little bit different. Just a couple of things to remember. If you haven't registered or want to check back in on our auction, please scan the QR code with your phone's camera to get the link. Also, unlike our live show where the auction just takes place during the brunch, this weekend, the auction will stay open until Monday at noon. So you have all weekend to bid. We've got some wonderful pieces. I feel like since the very beginning of this show, since we've done Smocks and Jocks, this might be one of the best shows for our art that we're putting on display. Also, don't forget to take a picture in the photo booth. The team worked hard to create a special experience today, so really check in on all the different activities that we have on the platform. So as you know, food and beverage is always a huge part of our event, so we couldn't leave it out again this year. We're kicking things off with brunch with Chef Nancie, who's the resident chef on our I Am Athlete podcast that takes place with former players Brandon Marshall, Fred Taylor, Channing Crowder, and Chad Johnson. But before we go to Chef Nancie, just a little bit about Athlete Ann. Really, Athlete Ann is just, hey, we're more than athletes. We're creative. We're business people. We're entrepreneurs. There's so many different things that we do in our player community. Just putting on the helmet and running onto the field is just part of who we are. So we're a multi-talented crew of probably about 20,000 former NFL players and a couple of thousand active players. So not a huge community, but a community that has a huge image. So with that said, let me just make sure we understand what Smocks and Jocks is all about. Back when I was an active player, I just really felt like my life was so football heavy. So I had an art teacher in high school that said, hey, you're not bad at this. You should really try and concentrate a little bit more and try and finish your works a little bit better. So I always remembered that and had that in the back of my mind. So halfway through my career, when I thought, man, my life was just way too full of football, I decided to go out, buy some canvas, buy some paints, and get to work. In the beginning, I'll be honest, my paintings were not very good. I kind of had the color combinations down, but my works were truly crude. But I hooked up with a couple of guys here in Washington, D.C. in the art community. They showed me how to prime my canvas and, start to understand how to finish my work and layer my paints. And over time, I've improved. So when I came to the NFLPA, I understood that this was a huge part of our player community that was being missed. And lo and behold, when we started Smocks and Jocks 16 years ago and we put the call out for art, we were just rushed with a number of pieces from our players. So typically in a year, we'll have 50 to 70 pieces of art that are submitted by active players and former NFL players. This year, it's kind of special. We've got some guest artists mixed in. We have some other athletes from some other pro sports mixed in. and a couple of special pieces of art from a couple of kids at St. Jude. So take a cruise on the platform, look at the art, bid on the art. And now, in just a second, we'll move on to Chef Nancie. Hopefully, you'll enjoy the show.
Please welcome to the stage, Chef Nancie, personal chef and resident chef for At I Am Athlete podcast.
Hi, welcome to my kitchen. I'm Chef Nancie from the I Am Athlete podcast. We've teamed up with the NFL Players Association for their Smocks Jocks event. And ever since COVID, everything has to be at home. So you're live in my kitchen. I'm going to bring to you today a virtual brunch. I hope you enjoy it. On the menu, I have avocado toast with smoked salmon, my spiked bourbon French toast, that's a favorite of mine, kicking candied bacon. I call it kicking candied bacon because it's a little spicy and sweet. I have cheddar scrambled eggs and also a Blackberry Mimosa for you that I'm about to start that with, and a special Bloody Mary. I also want to tell you about my spices. I just launched these spices yesterday, and they're available at chefnancie.com. That's Nancie. I have an all-purpose spice. This all-purpose, you can basically use it on anything. Onion powder, garlic powder, salt and pepper. You can even just toss it with pasta if you want. The Island Jerk has a nice Caribbean flavor. The allspice adds a very nice Caribbean flavor. It's not too spicy at all. Now the spicy one is the Cajun. That's Spicy Cajun Queen. It adds sass to any dish. It's definitely spicy and smoky. I have a rosemary roasted garlic, and it's very fragrant as well. The rosemary and the roasted garlic, it kicks up anything. My specialty one right now, and it's special to me because I launched it on Good Morning America the day before yesterday, and that's the lemon pepper. The lemon is tart and the pepper is peppery. It gives a really, really, really fresh flavor. Again, these are available at chefnancie.com. I just want to show you really quick my apron that I got. I love it. I think I might take it off because I don't want to mess it up. We've teamed up with Smocks Jocks, and also I have my I Am Athlete logo here, and I definitely love denim. I might have to take that off. I'm going to start you with a Blackberry Mimosa. So drinking at brunch is one thing that me and my girls love to do. I start with some blueberries, add a little simple syrup. Simple syrup, of course, is sugar syrup. Adds a little sweetness if they're tart. I muddle them up really good so it actually sweetens the berries if they're not sweet. I like a lot in mine, so I'm going to add a few more. Like I said, you just muddle that up and add whatever champagne that you desire. I prefer Prosecco. Add a little bit of Prosecco. Now we're going to add a bit of Prosecco, not a little bit, a lot. What team are you guys rooting for this year? Since I'm a new Floridian, I guess I got to go with Tampa. And of course, because they have Tom Brady now. So I'm going to add a little bit more. Because I don't know about you, but I enjoy drinking during brunch. I'll give this a little taste now. Yeah, that's really good. So while I'm preparing the food today, I'm going to take a little second and I'm going to add some clips from the podcast. Through the season, we have a couple of special clips. I'll add that in while I'm preparing for my next dish. I also forgot to give my cameraman a mimosa. Would you like one, dog?
Sure will.
Okay. So again, he doesn't like that many blackberries, so I won't put that much with him. Simple syrup, like I said. Muddle them up really fast. I think you all will enjoy the brunch. It's simple. I didn't go too hard. I put like easy things for you guys to follow. And also the ingredients are listed there if you want to go back and check, or even if some of us that have tickets are cooking along with us, that would be cool too. I got to get Dom right while we do this. Is that enough, Dom? Let's see. Again, I think I'm going to take this apron off because I don't want to mess it up. Do you like it? Yeah. All right. So I'm going to drink a little bit more. Show you a few clips from the I'm Athlete podcast. If you haven't seen it already, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have a new episode every Monday. And if you don't know, the podcast includes Brandon Marshall, Shannon Crowder, Fred Taylor, and the infamous Ocho Cinco. I enjoy doing the podcast with them. They're actually become like my family. I hope you enjoy the brunch today, and let's get started.
Bro, we're the uncles that a lot of this generation don't have.
Can I say one thing?
For sure.
Back in the day, we didn't have that. So when you said, I think social media, this day and time and this age, they are a little bit different because of social media. It's more exposure.
Yeah.
Me coming up, we had the Jet magazine, the Ebony magazine, and Essence probably wasn't even out yet. And there probably was, you can count on both hands who we had to look up to.
Right.
Now the exposure is so different, the good and the bad.
Yeah.
So that's another reason why this show is, like you said, within the DMs, the quotes, not just the quotes, but then seeing, okay, you exposed whatever mistakes that you made. It just teaches people to, when you know better, you do better.
Yeah.
You know what's powerful for me is, for years, Misha and I have been pounding the pavement just trying to bridge the gap in the mental health community. And this year, and I truly believe it's because of the show, my DMs, people are hitting me up like, a lot of ads like, bro, who do you talk to? Who did you talk to, right? Because of this show. We've been doing this, 8-9 years? You know what I mean? And that's the most powerful thing for hearing you share your story about anxiety. I think that was my favorite moment in season 2. Because I'm passionate about mental health. We had some classic moments. But bro, when you shared your experience about anxiety, it felt like the way you told your story, it was as if you were having a panic attack right then.
Right.
Like it was that real for you. Like you were speeding up your talk. You was like reliving it. And I was like, man. So that was a powerful moment for me, and I think a lot of people can connect with that. 320 million Americans, 100 million Americans are affected by it. Anxiety, depression, it hits all of us. You know what I mean? But we don't have those conversations. Yeah.
The transparency, right? The authenticity. Now we said, all right, when you hit me up, you said, man, I want to do a show where we just gonna keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? I just want to keep it real, do a podcast where we just being ourselves, chilling, just giving back and just keeping it real. I think we checked off all those boxes.
So we're going to start off with making my kicking candied bacon. I call it kicking candied bacon because it has cayenne pepper in it. So that kicks it up a notch. So it's not your average candied bacon. So I start off with sprinkling my bacon with brown sugar. I line the pan because you just don't want that extra mess. You can just roll that up and throw it away. So you just want to make sure you get brown sugar on your bacon because it makes it really sweet. Turns syrupy after it comes out of the oven and the bacon crisps up. So it's really sweet. And then I add the cayenne pepper, which gives it a little kick, which hence to why it's called kicking candied bacon. Really good.
really good to eat. Sorry for all my pescatarians and vegetarians and vegans. There are still some of us that eat meat and pork. Well, I don't eat much meat, but I definitely eat pork, but not as much. Once in a while. But this here is especially for my bacon eaters. Again, kicking candied bacon. Gonna put it in the oven. The oven is preset at 350. And I leave it in here for about 15 minutes. We'll come back and check it in a few minutes. So now the next thing we're gonna do is make my French toast. I just like to use this. It's a lot easier than using the pan.
What we got?
Salt and pepper lobster, veggie fried rice.
Salt and pepper lobster.
Yes.
Ooh, can I? Let me give me Ocho's. I'm gonna eat his.
Oh, so you don't eat lobster?
He don't need it.
Man,
He on
I
a
eat
diet.
everything.
He on
You
a
don't-
diet.
you
He
eat
on a
lobster,
McDonald's
right?
diet.
I eat everything. Wait, what are we eating again today?
Salt and pepper lobster
Salt and
my
pepper lobster
and
goodness.
veggie fried rice.
and veggie fried
You're
rice.
hard
Yeah.
like
Praise
that.
God.
It's inspired by my friend co-owns Brooklyn Chop House in New
Brooklyn
York.
Chop House, is that where? That's old school, right?
No, that's fairly new, couple of years. But they also make it at Philippe's and Julienne Club. But
Who's this? Who's this?
that's my daughter. She helps me.
That's your daughter. Come
Yes,
on, give us a little
Dave.
bit. Give us a
Dave.
little bit, because you always talking about your girls and them, being the inspiration, the reason why you
Oh yeah.
went back to school.
If
So,
it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here. I always say that.
why?
Because when I first started, I started with Richard Ingram, which is Dwayne Wade's private chef. He opened up a company of chefs. And it was when it was time to audition, I was like, oh, I'm not going to do it because I'm not going to get it. She was like, no, do it, do it. She was like, I was like, I'm not going to get it. She's like, well, if you don't do it, I'm never going to speak to you again.
And my birthday was the next day.
And her birthday was the day of the audition, so I had another excuse. She was like, Ma, do it.
Get closer.
So
I
I
ain't gonna
always
bite
credit her for,
Yeah, it was my 16th birthday.
she was like, no, do
But
it.
why'd you tell your mom, like, I'm not going to talk to you no more? Why you feel like it was that important and you had to go that extreme for her to go to school?
Well, our relationship were really close. So, like, what's gonna happen? You're either gonna get it or not get it.
Yeah.
Not,
And it changed my world.
Yeah.
what's the worst thing you're gonna do? Not get it? So I
Yeah.
was like, just do it.
It seemed,
Try it.
it seemed like your mom's like biggest cheerleader. Why is that? Why you root for your mom so much? And it's not like, oh, that's my mom, whatever, but like you really want your mom to win. I feel like there's something bigger there.
Because I've seen her journey firsthand. I've seen the beginning, the hardships, the wins, everything. So I want her to.
Don't start crying, because if you cry, I'm going to cry. Don't do it, Dave. You better not do it. Because I'm
No, but
sensitive
she's
to the
always-
mug. I'm like a light skin. I'm really light skinned. I'm really like that dude right there.
No, but since we were babies, she always instilled me and my sister to get an education and to take care of ourselves. So it's like, practice what you preach. Do it. Show us. And she
Yeah.
But I also told them, don't do what you see me do. Do what I tell you to do.
Hey, my parents always say that. No, you can't. That
But
right, that's
they
a
did
whole
it.
other
They
podcast.
did it. So I can't
Yeah.
complain. They did it. They did it.
great.
And she came back around and was able to push me up and tell me, do what you got to do. So we're moving on to my bourbon French toast, bourbon spiked French toast. For my French toast, I like to use challah bread or brioche bread. And I like for it not to be pre-cut because I like the sizes to be thick. So I prefer to cut it myself. So we'll cut a couple of pieces here. Get that ready. So now for my batter, I use heavy cream. Couple of eggs. And you want to make sure the batter tastes is really good, because whatever this batter tastes like is what your French toast will taste like. I add brown sugar, a good amount, because you want that sweet flavor. Of course, some cinnamon. We always need cinnamon in our French toast. And vanilla. But my vanilla of choice is vanilla bean paste. It's Madagascar vanilla bean paste. It has a really good taste. It's decadent, so it's taken some time to come down. And another thing I like about it is there are little specks, like it came right out of the bean. So I love the way that looks when I am making custards and stuff. So that is definitely my preferred vanilla that I use. You whisk this up really good. You want to make sure you incorporate these eggs with the heavy cream. I'll add the bourbon in last. I just want to make sure I get these eggs done really well. Again, this is a very sweet, high carb breakfast, but it's good. It's good. I don't eat it a lot, but I don't really eat it at all because I can't eat it. But everyone enjoys my French toast. I'm going to spike it up with the bourbon. Ooh, yeah. Also gives it a little kick, a good smell, a boozy smell now, and gives it a little more flavor. Whatever this batter tastes like I said, is what your French toast will taste like. Okay, I don't want to make too much of a mess here. I'll put that there. So we're going to make sure we butter up the grill here. Well, first thing you got to make sure the grill is hot, and that it definitely is. I had that preheating. Unlike the eggs, you don't mind color on this butter because it gives the French toast a lot of color. I do not like to soak my bread personally. This is my personal preference because I don't like soggy French toast. If it gets soggy, a quick tip is for you to finish it off in the oven, and that should dry out the middle for the most part. Again, a quick dip. Should I be using my tongs? Well, yeah, I probably should have used my tongs. But I'm going to continue to use my fingers because I already started. But I definitely will use my tongs to flip it over. Get that out the way. Okay, so you can see that it's starting to bubble and caramelizing. The sugar should give it a nice color. We'll let it sear for a while. I'll get my plate ready. I'll move this out the way here. This is definitely not for everyone. We're looking for a nice brown caramel color. We don't want to burn it. We just want it to sear. When you get that caramel color, you can flip it. Again, I do not soak my French toast because I don't like it soggy in the middle. So we're just gonna wait for a little caramelization. And if you're watching your weight, this is not the ideal breakfast for you. So you can definitely flavor your batter however you want. For the holidays, I make eggnog French toast. I like bourbon, so this is why I'm making bourbon French toast. Just waiting for this to get a nice color on it. So after this, we're going to make avocado toast again. I could have let that go a little longer, let it get toasty. I shouldn't have flipped it yet, but I'm excited. I'm anxious. It smells really well. If you could, we're here to smell it. Where's the camera? Oh, it had a scent button. And we're going to top it off with some maple syrup. Garnish it with the fresh berries and a little confection sugar. Yeah, nice and toasty. And again, it's not soggy. Smells really good. So, I'm not really into football, but I do work with NFL players. Hence to why everyone was laughing at one of the episodes. They thought I didn't know who Michael Vick was, but I did know who he was. I just didn't know what he was really famous for, because I do not watch football. But fans that would love some great football conversations, well, just worldly conversations, you can tune in and see me on I Am Athlete podcast with Brandon Marshall, Fred Taylor, Ocho Cinco, and Shannon Crowder. They like to make fun of me because I don't have much knowledge of football, but that's okay. I'm learning. They keep me around because I make good food. We're looking for a nice toasty brown color. I'm just waiting for this to toast up a bit more. Find time to drink my mimosa while I'm waiting for this to toast up. So good. Let's see what's going on here. Nice and toasty. Now we're going to plate this. I'll just do 2 pieces. Well, I've got 3, so we'll do 3. This is like for a man right here, because it's a lot. But I'm definitely going to eat 1 piece of this. And I hope Brandon's not watching, because he's going to make sure I get to the facility and take a class. Because as soon as he sees me, he's going to say, did you go to the house? That's what we call it, the house of athlete, and work that bread off that you ate. Yeah, he tries to stay on top of me. I love him for that. So again, we garnish it with fresh berries and some confection sugar. And there you are at the perfect spiked bourbon French toast. I hope you enjoy it, because I will. So next up we have the avocado toast.
Okay. Before we even jump into conversation, we got Chef Nancie coming. We gotta make sure we feed the boss. Boss, look, I know you're a health freak.
Right.
You do a lot of good things that we love to do. We love to eat chicken wings. We love to sip rosé and rum and all of that.
Right.
But we also know you know, how to have a good time.
Most definitely,
And when
most
to eat right.
definitely,
So we
most
got you right
definitely.
there, Chef Nancie.
That's
Go
a
ahead.
shrimp
Chef, what's
rich boy, not a poor boy.
Say it again, Chef.
Get it right.
All right, Chef, tell us what we eating, and you know, just tell Ross a little bit about yourself and who you cook for and where you from.
Oh, I'm from Jamaica, Queens.
Jamaica Queens.
I'm Brandon's private chef, and
This is delicious.
I follow him everywhere he goes. And
Lucky, brother.
Yeah, she throw down. But who else you cook for? You know, are you signed a non-disclosure or something? You can't tell them.
What's some people? Kelly Rowland.
That's who I stole her from, Kelly Rowland.
Tell Kelly I said hi.
I will definitely. I'll make sure I post this and tell her hi. Antro Roll, Robin Roberts, couple of people.
She's our resident chef. She hold it down for us, bro. We're gonna have to whenever you need her, just call me. We're gonna have her come through and whip up anything you need.
He knows my people.
You don't believe that. And this a rich boy, so I love that. You know?
Not a po' boy.
Not a po' boy.
From up top.
Who's your people?
Just the people. My family.
Oh, you don't want to talk about it?
No, she a gangster.
Oh, you know about Chef?
Oh, yeah.
We
She official. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what it is, right?
How you like it? Y'all enjoy it.
I want to hear more about this story.
Yeah,
you talking about
right.
what you like. Hell with that rich boy. I want to hear more about him. Chef, you like that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, in my younger days, a little something. But
No. You got to spend time with Chef offline. And she tell you some stories, bro. Because, you know, when I was playing for the Jets and the Giants, I lived in Brooklyn, right? And I called a few people. I'm like, look, I'm looking for a personal chef. And Antro Roll and his people's like, look, I'm moving on. This is the chef, right? But when you talk about the city and connected to New York, connected. Yeah. Yeah, that's all I got to say. Yeah.
You gotta talk.
But I'm down here now, so I'm connected to y'all. So
Oh,
good.
you locked in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Most definitely. Thank you, baby.
All right, so let's get back to the conversation. So now the conversation, so that this whole was that, you know, I know I wanted to start with you, but let's go to bro, because he got to leave in a little bit. Was the tension that thick in Magic City?
So the next thing I'm gonna make is some avocado toast, which is Brandon Marshall's go-to breakfast. Avocado toast with smoked salmon. He's a pescatarian, so he enjoys the smoked salmon, unlike us bacon eaters. I need to get the salmon out the fridge. So I have smoked salmon, avocado. I like to use a grainy bread because it's just better than plain white bread or wheat bread. It's something that's hard and crispy and holds up to the avocado. Gonna put my toast in the toaster over here. Get it nice and toasty. That'll ring when it's done. And then we are going to make our avocado toast. I need my masher. So for my avocado toast, I use lemon, avocado, of course, salt and pepper. It's really simple for breakfast. You don't want it to taste like guacamole, so you don't do like you'd be making guacamole for tacos. It's real simple. This is definitely, you can, if you're watching your weight, you can actually use rice cakes instead of toast or any other kind of bread. That keeps it a little bit lighter. if you're watching your weight. I normally do rice cakes for Mishi Marshall. So Brandon will do 1 piece of toast and Mishi will do the rice cakes. And then she likes me to sprinkle some everything seasoning on it. And it's her fake out for a bagel. So we get all the avocado in here. Well, this one is a little, I don't know. I don't like to use the dark when I see darkness, so I'll just take out the bright part. I'll take that out of there. So I'm just gonna squeeze my lemon in here. You don't want to put too much, but a nice amount. I'm a little weak. Okay, here we go. Get that lemon juice in there. And again, I just use salt and pepper for breakfast because it's not guacamole, it's avocado toast. Definitely love fresh ground black pepper. It's nice and fresh. Just mash it up a little. You want to keep it a little bit lumpy. It's fine. You don't want to mash it up too much because you want some texture there. Check my toast, which is not really done yet. Like I said, I keep a little lumps here because I like to see the texture. Who doesn't like avocado toast? I don't know, because I really do. So I'm gonna take the toast out of here. Oh, I have a plate. Very simple. You just load your bread up with avocado. Of course, depends on how much you like. You can top this with anything. I normally like to do a poached egg on top, or I'll show you some other garnishes that you can add on top of here. Sliced cucumber, some capers, red onion. But we're gonna keep it simple today and just put smoked salmon. Whatever brand you prefer, get it from your local supermarket. I'm from New York. We love lox, smoked salmon on an everything bagel with sliced tomatoes, capers, and some red onion. Like that was my go-to breakfast until I realized I couldn't eat a bagel every morning. Just want to lay the smoked salmon on there. Again, it depends on how much you want. If you like a lot, you load it up. If you want to keep it light and simple, you can. So I want to add some more garnish to, I don't know where we put it. Another cutting. Let's do more. I need this. I'm just going to add some extra garnish and make it look really pretty and taste good, of course, if I can get this open. I'm opening this English cucumber. Even get the cucumber the way I want to get it. Yeah, I wanted to make some cucumber ribbons. garnish the top of this avocado toast. Looks pretty. And of course, you get that cool, crisp taste in every, when you bite into the toast. So we'll do like that. Like that, maybe. Like that. I'll put some alfalfa sprouts. This garnish is, it's garnish, but it's also healthy for you. So I'll put that like that. These are alfalfa sprouts. I use them as a garnish, but again, they make it look nice. Really good, lots of flavor here. You can add anything to avocado toast, whatever you like. Let's make some height. And here you go. Avocado toast for you to enjoy while you're watching that game. On to the next.
What is next?
Next, we're gonna do some scrambled eggs. I'll take another sip of my mimosa. And that'll be our next thing that we do.
Chef, you on Twitter?
Am I on Twitter? No, Instagram. I'm a little too old for Twitter. I gotta
All right,
get a
so
Twitter.
we gotta, Chef. So we talking a lot about like defining moments in our life, and I got the same question for you. When do you feel like it was like a do or die situation in your life, a defining moment?
Oh, well, we might have to talk about the salad. This is basically it's the salmon niçoise salad. It derived from a little city, Nice in France. And I went to the French Culinary Institute. That was a turning point for me, a defining moment when I realized that I just wanted to become self-sufficient and be able to take care of myself. And so that was a defining moment for me. And the salmon salad is really actually an ode to my old school that I went to.
So like your journey from, in your marriage where your husband, really was an amazing provider and did everything.
Yes, he did.
And when you made that shift, it's like, you know what, I'm gonna go do what I want to do. And how old were you?
40 years old when I went to culinary arts school.
So you 40 years old.
11 years ago.
11 years ago, 40 years old, starting. Wow, God.
Looking good, girl.
What?
Looking good, girl.
Hold on, that caught me off guard. She said that was 11 years ago. Yeah, that's a whole damn.
Yeah.
So, but like when you flipped that switch, like was there anybody that you look back and was like, yo, that move that I made really impacted these people's lives and
my daughters. My daughters.
What you mean?
Because it showed them that it's never too late. A lot of people around me too, but for the most part, my daughters.
Yeah.
And just showing them that at any age you can make a switch, you can change. At 40 years old, I stayed home for about 2 years after culinary arts school. And again, I think I said it before, my first celebrity client was Kelly Rowland. I gave her lessons and I still keep in touch with her.
Kelly's nice. Yeah, I saw Kelly at the Rock Nation brunch. She's like, "Where's Chef Nancie? I love Chef Nancie." So Kelly Rowland.
Yes. I worked for Tyler Perry through another chef, Robin Roberts recently, Intro Roll, Brandon Marshall and Mishi Marshall. But for the most part, I've been with the Marshalls for 4 years, and that was just incredible for me.
Yeah.
Just the opportunity, the way you embraced me.
Yeah.
And your family embraced me. And I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. You're
and
easy to embrace, I'll be honest.
Thank you. Happy to be where I'm at.
Right,
and I hope you guys enjoy the
So the
salad.
message from Chef Nancie tonight is she don't give a damn how old you are.
It's never too late.
It's never too late.
To make a change. I'm famous back home for my fluffy scrambled eggs. I'm going to show you my trick to make them fluffy. Just add a little cheese. We're going to keep it simple. This is 4-state cheddar. Gives it a lot of flavor, some mild, some strong. I'm going to take a sip. First, let me check this bacon, see how it's going. think we got about 5 to 8 more minutes because I like my bacon crispy. So we're going to give it about 5 more minutes. So the trick to making fluffy eggs, now I'm letting the cat out the bag, is the more air you incorporate, the fluffier your eggs will be. That means you need to whisk the hell out of them. So the faster you whisk, the more air you incorporate, the fluffier your eggs will be. So I'll do that. Then I'll add some salt and pepper. Because, yeah. Salt and pepper. Oops. And again, I go back to whisking. Really, really fast. The bigger the bowl, the better. Try to incorporate a lot of air. Bring this over here to my pan. Make sure you coat your pan. You do not let that sit on there because once that oil burns, then that's where your eggs will get color. We want no color in our eggs. And again, incorporate as much air as you can while you whisk. You'll get fluffy eggs. So I like to add my cheese in after it starts to cook. I'll turn this up a little, speed it up. And I generally like to start with a cold pan, not a hot pan. Because again, I don't want whatever fat or oil I'm using to burn because that's what gives the eggs a brown color. And you definitely don't want that. Turn it up. And just wait for them to start cooking. All the bubbles on top is all the air. And again, that's good because that's what makes for fluffy eggs. Check this bacon one more time. Ooh, I think I'm going to take that bacon out. This looks really good and it smells amazing. I'll let it stay a little bit longer because I want it crispier. But it's not burning, it's doing really well. So now our eggs are starting to cook. And you just want to fold. Keep folding from the outside to the inside. The first thing I learned to do in culinary arts school was to make eggs. And yes, they start you off with boiled eggs, how to boil a proper egg. So again, I don't start to put the cheese in until the eggs get warm because you want that cheese to melt. Or you can top it off, but I prefer it inside. So again, you don't want any color on your egg, so you just keep moving it around. Incorporate that cheese. Get it all nice and melted in there. No color still on my eggs. Depending upon how you like your eggs, hard or soft. We'll go with medium here. And we're done. Bring it over here to plate it. See that gooey cheese in there? Fluffy eggs. Fluffy, cheesy eggs. And we'll top it with a little garnish. Let's taste them. So some people like to add other things to their eggs. We kept it simple today. You could add anything, crab meat, lobster, jalapeno. They're really good. Got that 4-state cheddar inside. Tastes really good. Check the bacon again. Okay, I think I'm gonna take the bacon out now. You always want to drain your bacon to get some of that fat off of there. Definitely don't want to eat all that grease. I didn't mean to take this back out the sink, but we're going to drain the bacon. Get it so you don't put too much oil. And this is my kicking candied bacon. It's so good. Put it here with the eggs. Yeah, it's sticky, gooey because of that brown sugar on it. Again, depending upon how crispy you want it, it's up to you.
Most pressure job in the game.
Hello.
Chef Nancie.
Hello. Shrimp tacos today.
Shrimp tacos?
Yes.
I love your outfit. I love your outfit this week.
Thank you. Comfortable.
Yeah. Before you go, Chef, really quick, how much is too much on social media?
As far as what?
Yeah, like, so we started with Ocho just landing in bed with Sherelle, and they ain't really.
It didn't start with me.
And they laying there with their blankets up like this, and then he talking about that's your sanctuary, right? So
I mean, they're in love, him and Sherelle, and he wants to express it to the world, and I think that's a good thing. So I don't think that too much determines as far as what he wants to put on social media. That's how he expresses what's going on in his life right now. I think that's a good thing.
You. And when we fight, I'm gonna post that too.
You gonna post it?
Yeah.
But then there are times where you need to be discreet about certain things. But.
Okay, so then what do we need to be discreet about then? If the bed in the room, to Channing's point, is not the sanctuary, then what is?
The toilet.
It depends on who it is. It depends on who it is. He lives that life. He's a little more open with what's going on in his life.
Yeah.
Channing is a more,
secluded.
Conservative.
Yeah, he's not really even
He's
on.
over here kitty ass, man.
I'll never see here, Kitty.
That's why I think the young boy will tear your ass up on the field. Cause the knees what's up, boy? Them knees done. I'm with you, bro.
Hey, much love.
Them knees.
This my new son-in-law.
That's your new son?
She said I'm her son-in-law.
In-law?
Yeah.
What that mean?
Giving away days, I think.
Yeah, what's this like?
Can't give away days in front of us. No, hell no.
What?
Young man, D, no, y'all ain't talking later. You ain't giving away days in front of us.
You still got them bad.
So I think the best way to finish up this brunch is with another drink. I have a Bloody Mary. So your traditional Bloody Mary has Worcestershire sauce, Tabasco, whatever vodka of your choice, tomato juice, and then all your garnishes. Oh, and horseradish and salt and pepper. So it's really easy. The ratio of liquor to juice is 2-to-1, kind of. Put a little dash of Worcestershire sauce. You want a little bit of Tabasco for some spice, not too much. Well, it depends on how spicy you like your drinks. We're gonna throw that vodka in there. Oh. Some salt. Just a little, not much, and you can kind of adjust it after you taste it. Pepper. Again, fresh ground pepper to me is the best. Little horseradish. I love horseradish. It'll clear your sinuses for you. We add that in. And then we shake it up a bit. I'm gonna get some ice. Pour this over ice. Yes, that looks amazing. So now we're gonna top it off. You always gotta add some celery. So I forgot to, one of my ingredients that I do add in is a little bit of lemon juice. I'll stir that in now because I already started on my garnishes and I'm anxious to drink this. So, and then you just play with whatever you want. So I put that there. Give it some color. I'm gonna put a lemon and a lime somewhere on here. Let's see. How about I stick this here? This is really harsh. Again, I'm gonna make it, try to make it really pretty. Let's see how this comes out. Okay, now we're gonna put some olives then. Put some olives. A lemon, a lime. Stick that in there. So I really could top it off with a cherry tomato. We add a little shrimp here. One should be good. And I think we have a pretty Bloody Mary. Now let me taste it. Wait. This is really a traditional brunch drink. Really good. You can add the bacon, but Dom ate it all. We could have definitely added the bacon here. Really, really good. I hope you enjoyed this segment today. Happy Super Bowl Sunday. I hope your team wins, whoever you're rooting for. Make sure you check out my website at chefnancie.com. That's Nancie. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Speech.
I don't know what to say.
She be shy. That's what her name is, though. She's shy.
A woman, Michi Marshall taught me, beside every strong man's a strong woman, and our strong woman on I Am Athlete is Chef Nancie. So I want Chef, couple words, Chef, just for season 2, the ending.
Well, as I've said this before, I'm grateful to be around. This is my league of extraordinary gentlemen. And I'm grateful for you guys to have me and even just value the little bit of opinion that I have. But again, so my wish is to heal the land, and we had a great season and we're gonna have some more great seasons.
That's right.
Right?
Toast.
I am
if Ultra don't get too big time on us.
I am black.
Did you know that the fine money from on-the-field fines helps fund the Professional Athletes Foundation? Now, this next player, he was a tough guy, so I'm sure he was responsible for filling the coffers of the Professional Athletes Foundation over his 14-year career. Take it away, Lorenzo.
Please welcome to the stage, Lorenzo Alexander, NFLPA Executive Committee Vice President.
Hey, thank you, Andre. I really appreciate that introduction. And I really appreciate everybody that's tuning in today, that's taking part in the Smocks and Jocks event. It's really a privilege to be here today. And again, my name is Lorenzo Alexander. I'm a 15-year NFL vet, and I had a privilege. Thank you for that warm introduction, Andre. I really appreciate that. I appreciate your friendship as well and your leadership. It's such a privilege to be here today, especially attending this Smocks and Jocks. And I know it's virtual, but it's something that we've had to get used to during this pandemic. But I really appreciate you guys taking out the time and being a part of this special event put on by PAF. My name is Lorenzo Alexander, and I've really had a privilege of playing in the NFL for 15 years. I didn't achieve that on my own accord. I really had a lot of great teammates, coaches, and really staff members that I met throughout my career. Even going back to being undrafted out of the University of Cal Berkeley back in 2005. And even when I think about it, it seems so long ago, but it seems like yesterday. Being undrafted, not being able to walk across that stage and having Roger Goodell call my name and receive my jersey and kind of go through all those things you dream about as being a kid. But I wouldn't change one thing about it at all. It really set me up to have a long career by having that foundation based on humility. Because, to be real, we all have been great athletes, great individuals on the field. And, whether that started at Pop Warner, high school, college, and even into the NFL, right? And for me, I really needed that wake-up call of being told, hey, you're not working hard enough. Hey, you're not good enough. Hey, you need to develop your skills. Hey, you're not a man yet in a lot of ways. And because of that, it really made me look internally about who I was, what I was doing, and how I could grow and find a niche in the league. And, my story is crazy. I was a defensive lineman coming out. At one time, I was 315 pounds playing for the Carolina Panthers. And by the end of it, I was, 235, 240, playing outside linebacker, off the ball linebacker. And in between that time, a lot of great stories, a lot of different position changes, and a lot of opportunity to really showcase what God had given me, which was really cultivated with a lot of great teammates, from London Fletcher to Mike Sellers, to Chris Samuels, Kyle Williams. I just really privileged to be around a lot of great people. Danny Smith, one of the great coaches, Leslie Frazier as well. And so throughout that time, just really cutting on me, helping me become not only a great football player and a linebacker and be able to navigate the business aspect of football, but obviously, produce it on the field, but really as a man off the field. How did I live my life on a day-to-day basis? How did I treat my wife? How did I father my kids? How did I impact my community? And, so again, it's just been such a privilege. And it really started out of being undrafted and really having to set my foundation on something that was eternal as far as my relationship with God, and it really never looked back. And even as I transition away into my second act, away from football, I still have to rest on that same foundation of having a great relationship with God, having great people around me as I transition away, people that have done it, people that are going to help me continue to educate myself, having that growth mindset as I transition into being a broadcast analyst, coaching youth football, as well as working over at Exos with young men getting ready for the draft, as well as my community work and eventually going back to school to get my master's in psychology with an emphasis in life coaching, and then hopefully maybe even my MBA one day with the emphasis in sports business. And so even though I've walked away from the game, I'm still very involved in different aspects, really trying to work on that early process so kids don't necessarily have to do or deal with some of the issues I did, especially when we think about minority communities, when we think about low income, single parent households, and really just providing them with the resources and tools they need. And so that's really what I've been focused on. At the same time, staying engaged with the game in a lot of ways, as well as the NFLPA. I've been privileged to be a part of the leadership group, executive committee, for I believe the last 6 years, been a member of leadership council or a player rep since 2010, 2011. So I've been through the lockout, been through these last negotiations. And so I've seen the NFL from a very different perspective throughout my career, coming in as an undrafted rookie to now a former player who's retired but still engaged to the business side of football and making sure that we advocate for the rights and benefits of our men. And so it's been really cool to be engaged in that way, especially going through this pandemic and getting football played, but trying to do it in the most responsible way, educated way, and making sure that our men and our men's families and our communities that we play in did it in a safe way. So I'm still engaged, even though I'm away from it. I'm still engaged in a lot of different ways, and it's really been cool. As far as my foundation, this is really huge for PAF to be able to be a part of receiving this grant. It's a huge honor, something that I think I hold closer to my heart than any football accolade that I could ever receive. And it's really about just serving. I've been given so much, so many abilities and gifts and people and resources, whether it's money or wisdom or knowledge. And I would be a fool to hold on to all that, realizing that I stand on so many people's shoulders, going back to my mom and my uncle who stood in the gap for me. And so that's really what my foundation is all about. The Lorenzo Alexander ACES Foundation is really about developing young men, young ladies, and giving them and equipping them with the tools and resources and relationships that they need in order to be successful. And ACES, we all know about what a diamond is. And it's really about cultivating that diamond out of coal and really applying pressure to their lives through tough love, being there every single day, providing programming, challenging them, loving them up, and meeting them where they're at and helping them develop into the people that we all know that a lot of our kids in these low-income minority communities have the potential of becoming. I was one of them. I know a lot of kids that are now men and young ladies that were one of them. And so I want to be a part of that process to continue to help change those communities and holistically change them for the better. And not only helping them, but also challenging the powers that be, whether that's challenging councilmen, congressmen, senators, mayors, businesses to get involved and change legislation that's going to help us create this new environment in a lot of these communities that ACE is focusing on. But I believe it's really built on 4 pillars. There's a lot of branches that kind of come off of it, but the A, accountability, being accountability to yourself, being invested in yourself as far as learning, giving back to your community, which stands for the C, the community part. Right? Nobody can do this alone. It takes a village. It's not a cliche. It's real life, and you need so many different people. Parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, family members, friends, coaches, teachers, instructors, random strangers that may speak a little bit of wisdom into your life. And so it really means a lot in having a community and be able to do life with a corporate body, right? And not alone. You're able to navigate through it so much more seamlessly. And then E in education, always having a growth mindset, always trying to learn things for yourself and get all different perspectives and not just hear from one side or not just believe what somebody's telling you, but educating yourself, equipping yourself so that you can be successful and never being content with what you already know, but always growing. And it's one of the things that really helped me play 15 years, always trying to add something new and different. And I think it's huge, a huge pillar in this sports, which is the S, which really has a double meaning. But for sports, a lot of kids, a lot of these families, and I came from one, couldn't afford to go to a 4-year institution, but sports afforded me the opportunity to go to the #1 public university. And so if you are gifted in something, and it doesn't have to be a sport, it could be technology, it could be STEM, it could be art, it could be dance, making sure that we are encouraging and building and cultivating our young people's talents and allowing them to leverage that to earn a degree that otherwise they wouldn't be able to have the funds to go and do. Provide them access, right, in this spirit. As you already probably could tell, I am a Christian. I have a firm belief in our Savior, Jesus Christ, and in forming a relationship with him. Not religion, but a relationship and getting to know who he is and who he's created you to be. And because until you really know who you are and what you've been purposed to do on this earth, I don't care what you do, it's not going to be as impactful. And so we're all about the increase, maximizing that potential, and that's what we're trying to do through the ACES Foundation. And so again, I appreciate everybody listening to me today, showing up for this Smocks and Jocks event. And I really hope that you're enjoying the Smocks and Jocks event, even though it's at home. And here's a few show reminders. Remember to bid on the artwork of my fellow NFL members. Shout out to all the artists in today's show. Don't forget to donate to the Professional Athletes Foundation while you're here, as they do great work supporting players like me as we transition into our second act. And before you log off today, make sure you stop by the expo to check out all the partners, booths, especially the Pick'em Charity Challenge. The Pick'em Charity Challenge is an app you can download and tap through a series of questions and place in-game predictions about the Super Bowl. No, you don't need to be a player or a football fanatic to play. There are questions for everyone. If you're really feeling lucky, join the PAF VIP League and a chance to win a trip for two to the 2022 Pro Bowl. Hopefully played in Vegas next year. God bless, stay safe, and hope to see you guys soon.
Please welcome to the stage, Jonathan Butler, singer, songwriter, guitarist, and father of former NFL player Ezra Butler.
Welcome to Smocks Jocks. I'm Jonathan Butler. This is such a special occasion for me and a special event for me. My son Ezra Butler also was in the NFL. He played with the Jets and the Saints, and so I've become a fan. So right now we are going to celebrate this very, very special occasion, and thanks for having us. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey! Come on. Wherever you are, come on. Let's celebrate. Come on. We took a vow to be ever true. I live up to mine. Tell me, baby, to you, yeah. Somebody saw you with your own love, hand in hand. I don't understand, no. You spent here and then long ago, yeah. You had me believing while you were deceiving me with lies. I wish I could have seen it in your eyes. Lies, but I never did. Lies, it took so long to realize. Lies, but I was too caught up in your web of lies. Somebody calls me at the change of time. I heard another voice on the other side. You give me the same old story. It's just a friend now. That's who it is, who it is. I hate to tell you that my faith in you is shaken. Don't tell me that you love me when I know you cheated on me, baby, with your lies. Lies, I wish I could have seen it in your eyes. Lies, but I never did. Say lies, lies, it took so long to realize. Lies, but I was too caught up in your web of lies. Lies, you had me believing while you were deceiving me. I hate to tell you that my faith in you is shaken. Don't tell me that you love me when I know you cheated on me with lies. Lies, I wish I could have seen it in your eyes. Lies, but I never did. Lies, it took so long to realize. Lies, ooh, yeah. So you cheated on me. Were the white lies. Were the real to say a little prayer with this song. Here we go. Say a little prayer for somebody right now. Here we go. Here we go.
Welcome to Smocks and Jocks. This is awesome. I hope you guys are having a good time. We are having a ball, as you can see on stage. It's been a while since we performed together. We've been on lockdown for quite some time. But here we go. Here's something you might know. It goes like this. room, and she looked so good. Memories came rushing in to my head. There was a sparkle in her eyes, and was it for me? Oh, my imagination running wild. I see the more things change, the more they stay the same. I thought I was past the pain, but thought of you, and it's back again. Sing with me. Sarah, what happened to you and I? Sarah, 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 I beat the fire down. This time, still I'm gonna be strong. Though emotion rushing, swore that I'm never gonna fall apart. No way, no. Could we watch our dreams crumble into dust? There's so much more life has in store for the two of us. Sarah, what happened to you and I, baby? Sarah, Sarah, how did the fire die? Ooh, Lord, and I was standing, baby, yeah. Love never died, love never died. Deep in my heart, oh, a bit of you still survives. Break that us. Break it down, break it down. Hold on. Ha, hey, hey. Sarah, what happened? Sarah, Sarah, babe. What happened to you tonight? Honey Rochelle on vocals. Dennis Ham on the keys. I've missed you, Dennis. I like your jersey, man. What number is that? 17? Can you see mine? What's mine? I got the real deal on. Donald Barrett on the drums right here. And Dan Lutz on the bass. I can't do this without Dan Lutz on bass. Welcome again, everybody, if you're just tuning in. This is the Smocks Jocks event, and I'm so happy to be a part of this. What are we doing next, brothers? Do you love me? Oh yeah, Valentine's Day is coming up, so we might as well, bring a little romance into the set with something like this. Go ahead, Dennis. South Africa would say, hele, hele. Hey, sisi wena, ngiyakuthanda. Ngiyakuthanda wena mama. Stop to think about it, 'cause I feel a little fear, but I'm ready to go. Gotta jump right in and say, get the courage up to ask, pray that you won't say no. If I'm not the one, don't expect my heart to understand. But I'm not gonna run till I say these words. Can I be your man? Where I got a little ring that I want you to wear, and our names engraved, and I wonder what I do if you say you don't care. No, I have come prepared. Don't expect my heart would ever forgive me, no. gonna have Honey Rochelle just say a little something. Dennis Ham, what you got?
Do you love?
You guys having a ball at the back here? I know we're having fun, man. We're having fun. Here's a real special song. Probably one of my all-time favorite songs. And it's going to sound a lot better once I tune this guitar. I don't want to, have Smocks and Jocks call my manager and say, Jonathan Butler plays with false guitars, man. What's up with that? So check it out. Here we go. It's kind of strange, right? Playing and there's no people here. But everybody's watching us from home, which means we really have to behave. This song is really, really special to me. Somebody out there needs to know that everything's going to be all right. No matter what's happening out there, just know that everything's going to work out fine. I remember when we used to sit in the government yard in Frenchtown. Yes. Over observing the hypocrites mingling with the good people we meet. Good friends we lost, good friends we lost, oh, along the way. In this great future, you can't forget your past, so dry your tears, I say. No woman, don't cry. No woman, no cry. Little darling, don't shed no tear. No, no woman, no cry. Said I remember when we used to sit in the government yard in Frenchtown. Then the Georgian would make firelights like wood burning fires through the night. Then we would cook cornmeal, porridge, yeah, our great child share with you. My feet was my only carry.
Everything's gonna be alright. Everything is gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything is gonna be alright. Everything's 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 gonna be alright. Everything will work out right tonight. Gonna let the music play. Just let the music play. Yes. Weeping may last for a moment. Joy comes in the morning. It's never too late, never too late. Lift your hands in the air, lift your hands in the air. It's never too late. Everything's gonna be alright. Help is on the way. Do you believe help is on the way? I believe that help is on the way. The sun will rise again, again, again. Everything's gonna be alright. Hallelujah. Everything's gonna work for your good. Everything will work for your good, for your good. God is on the throne, He's on the throne, He's everything's gonna be alright. 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 Everything's gonna be no Woo! Man, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Man, I hope you guys watching right now are having a ball. I know I am having a ball.
We are all having a good time over here. And once again, we want to thank you for having us be part of this very special day. I just want to have this sink in a little bit. Somebody's crying today. But joy also comes in the morning. So we're going to leave you with something. You got to believe in something. This is called You Got to Believe in Something. Donald. Here we go.
You gotta believe in something. Gotta believe in something.
You gotta believe that all things work together for the good. No matter what the cost, no matter all things lost, you gotta believe. You got to believe. Thank you, Smocks Jocks. Thank you, guys. God bless you. Thank you. Woo! Have a great day today. Huh? I don't. You want one more? We got one more. We got one more. You sure you want more? What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Lord, we don't need another mountain. There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb. There are oceans and rivers enough to cross, enough to last till the end of time. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little love. Needs now. It's love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone.
Lord, we don't need another medal.
Come on, sing.
There are cornfields and wheat fields enough to flow.
Come on.
There are sunbeams and moonbeams enough to shine, Lord.
Enough to last till the
Enough to
end. We need love, more love. We need grace, more grace. Show us your hand, show us your face. Love in the morning, the hem of his garment. The hem of his garment to heal the world. Stretch out your hand and heal the world. Show us your mercy, Lord. Show us your grace, oh Lord. Peace.
Please welcome to the stage Andre Collins, PAF Executive Director and former NFL linebacker 1990 to 1999.
Wow, that was awesome. If you've never heard Jonathan Butler, I'm so glad we were able to treat you to that today. So inspirational, so amazing. And you know, I don't know if you know, but Jonathan is really an extended part of our football family. His son Ezra played for the New Orleans Saints. So if you didn't know that, that's pretty cool also. So they told me this is halftime, but we're really way past the halfway point. So we don't have much more to go. So this is the time where I really have to thank our sponsors. Really, without them and without the support throughout the year, we wouldn't be able to do this. So let me start by thanking Cigna, Alight, PRM Consulting, our partners in problem gambling, Epic Risk Management, and Aon. So thank you to all of them for supporting us throughout the year. Also, on a side note, if you haven't gone into the expo room, please go in and listen to the Hear Strong video. Usually at our live show every year in the Super Bowl City, we honor a Hear Strong champion. So a young person that has had some difficulties with hearing, together with the Hear Strong Foundation, we present them with an award. So we have a nice video in the expo for you to check out. Check back in on the live auction. If you haven't done so, scan the QR code so you can see what's going on. You scan the QR code, you'll get the link. You'll be able to jump in and make some bids. on the work. Okay, so make sure you do that. Also, if you haven't already popped into the live artwork piece, the artwork exhibition by former player Aaron Mabin, who's an art activist and doing great things in the city of Baltimore. Please jump in and check him out. He's currently working on an art piece commissioned by the Professional Athletes Foundation for the late George Knox. For those of you that don't know George Knox, George played 6 seasons with the Washington football team back in the day, and after his football career, really became one of the foremost accomplished American artists. So his works have always been displayed at Smocks and Jocks. We love George. He was near and dear to our heart. A few of his family members are on the chat with us today. They know we're making a $5,000 donation to the newly created George Knox Scholarship Fund at Morgan State. But what they don't know is that we will be gifting Aaron Mabin's commission piece to his wife, Mary Knox. So Mary's in the chat. So just again, we love George so much. And he really worked with us to help make this show something special. So head over to Aaron's session and check him out. He'll wrap up at about 3 p.m. So now moving on, this is the part where we give away money in support of the Super Bowl Cities community. So the first opportunity from the PAF, together with our honorary co-chairs, the Tampa chapter of former players, we donated lunch to frontline hospital workers at Tampa General Hospital, the Global Emerging Diseases Institute. So we brought them lunch earlier in the week. There should be some pictures of that posted in the expo, but together with the Tampa chapter of former players, we were honored to be able to do that and for the PAF to do its part. Next, we will be making a $5,000 contribution to an organization called the Safe and Sound Foundation. Tampa Bay Bucks player Carlton Davis, who's an active player in the league and will be playing in the Super Bowl, represented this organization through the NFL's campaign, My Cause, My Cleats. So we were able to jump on board with that and donate $5,000 to a very worthy cause. I also want to acknowledge, and I talked about it a little bit earlier, but I want to acknowledge them again. The NFLPA wellness partner is St. Jude's Hospital. So again, we have 2 pieces submitted by children who are patients at St. Jude. So please bid on those pieces. 80% of those proceeds will go to St. Jude. So take a look and help out St. Jude's. They've been a great partner over the years. We are also donating $15,000 to the ACES Foundation, and our guest Lorenzo Alexander, you heard from him earlier, and he talked plenty about ACES, which is another great foundation doing great things in the community. So now I'm going to bring on Ryan McCall. Thanks for joining us, Ryan. And Ryan is a representative from Breaking Boundaries Foundation, and Tampa Bay Bucks player Rakeem Nunez represented this foundation, Breaking Boundaries, in the My Cause, My Cleats on television opportunity that the NFL puts on every year to highlight community foundation. So I'd like to welcome Ryan to talk a little bit about what they do. Hey, Ryan.
Hey, Andre, thanks for the opportunity as well. It's a pleasure to be here and share a little bit about Breaking Boundaries. Whenever I have that opportunity, I'm really excited. So bear with me. But the Breaking Boundaries Foundation is fully invested in helping student athletes find resources for college, whether that be through athletic exposure or through different programs that we offer online. The biggest thing that I'll take it back a little bit. We started in 2016, taking students on college visits at first, and wanted to dig a little bit deeper. We started to sponsor children going to athletic camps at different colleges and universities. And we wanted to dig a little bit deeper from there as well. So we built an academy, which is all virtual through our website called BBQ Academy. And on there, what we do is allow students to have access to downloadable resources. There's one-on-one meetings they can schedule with us. We do community service events. There's a scholarship board. And the biggest thing that we like to talk about is our care package program. That's where a lot of our sponsors love to give items and help us donate cash to send these packages out to our students. We have students in South Dakota, some in Pennsylvania, Georgia, and all over the state of Florida as well. So that's a little bit about what the foundation does, though. Our app is going live this year in 2021, so that's another exciting thing for us. We'll be able to reach more students across the United States. So,
wow, that's wonderful and so far-reaching. I mean, how did you all come up with the idea in the beginning?
Well, it started out. I came from a single-parent home. My mom was an avid football lover. She loved the Bucks. But it got to the point where when I got to college, I noticed that there were so many disconnects in the way I got recruited and the way, I got to being in college. So I wanted to reach back out to students that were just like me, people that just want an opportunity. Maybe don't come from a household where you have both parents, or you just struggle altogether with finding different resources for yourself, and wanted to put all that into a program and kind of give to kids. And one person I do want to shout out is my good friend, Francisco Llanos. He actually came on to the program with us for the last 2 years. And he just took a big coaching job at Minoic State University, so I'm going to miss him dearly. But he's another great part to our program that's brought a lot of the children in, and a lot of the connections we've had with my college, my cleats as well. So I love him. So, brother, I love you if you're out there watching today. So.
Oh, that's awesome. So, Ryan, today we'll be donating $7,500 to Breaking Boundaries Foundation on behalf of the Professional Athletes Foundation.
That is, I'm speechless, man. I really appreciate that. Our kids are going to appreciate that. And I'm sure when they watch this, they're going to go crazy knowing that, we have some other resources to get things out for them as well here coming up. So.
Well, that's fantastic. Stay in touch and we'll be keeping an eye on you. Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity.
Joining us. A couple of more reminders. Don't forget to take a picture in the photo booth. Leslie Isler and Laura Stefano, who are working for the PAF, worked hard to put that together. So don't let it go to waste. So now to celebrate one of our former players, Joe Barksdale, who's amazing, on to the last performance of the day.
Please welcome to the stage, Joe Barksdale, singer, songwriter, musician, producer, and former NFL offensive tackle 2011 to 2019.
Black magic in her veins. Black magic drives me insane. Black magic got me a car. Black magic won't get far. Why won't I leave? In my phone, hey, black magic won't leave me alone. Hey, black magic starts with a spark. Black magic in the dark. Why won't I leave? It's like I can't breathe. Yeah. Black magic. Black magic hits me when I'm weak. Black magic helps me speak. Black magic leaves a stain. Black magic in my veins. Why won't I leave? Why won't I leave? She won't let me be. She won't let me be. It's like I can't breathe. Black magic. Yeah, dig that one. My name is Joe Barksdale. We have Alyssa Harris here. We have Alyssa Harris on vocals, my apologies. Vince Wiley on keys, Brennan Howell on drums, Mario Castellano on bass. And we would like to welcome you to the 16th annual Smocks Jocks event, brought to you by the NFLPA and the Pro Athletes Foundation. Brought to you also by COVID-19, because you're watching us from home. We wish we could be with you, but we can't. That song was called Black Magic. It's a single off of a EP that I released last year called Sincerely. Go check it out. We're gonna get into something else now that I wrote during my NFL career. It's called Danielle. It's about my wife. Her middle name is Danielle, and she's honestly a big reason that I'm where I'm at today. I couldn't have gotten where I am and where I'm going without her support. And her first name is Brianna, and it was hard to rhyme things with Brianna, so we wrote Danielle. Here it goes. My heart bleeds for you. Rivers of love flow. You're oh so special, darling. Just in case you didn't know. People try to divide us, but I don't entertain. After all these years, you stayed the same. You know I hate to make you cry. We can do this if we try. Are the apple of my eye. Oh, Danielle. Oh, Danielle. Tell you all my secrets, all my hopes and dreams. At times I thought I'd found gold, but it wasn't what it seemed. I think about the future and what I want for us. From my next heartbeat till I return to dust. this if we try. You are the apple of my eye. Oh, Danielle. Oh, Danielle. For those of you guys that don't know, I'm also mentally ill and autistic. But I've figured a lot of that out within the last 5-6 years during my time playing. And before I decided to address it, you know, with meeting with the therapist and so forth, I first talked to my wife about it. And this was really my first time opening up to anybody about how I felt. And it pretty much kept her up the entire night, you know, just thinking about it. I mean, it was a lot to unload, but she wrote this poem called Journey to Nowhere. And I thought it would make a good song, so I put some music to it. And we'd like to play it for you now. I've grown. I'm on a journey to nowhere, all by myself. Does anyone see me walking? Will anyone stop to help?
Would anyone stop to help?
Thank you guys so much for having us. It's the 16th annual Smocks Jocks event. If you're not relaxed, relax because we're about to play another song. How Much You Mean to Me. You don't love me like I used to, or is it any more these days? I wish that I could get through to you, but things are really out of phase. You must be mad at me or something, because the way you look at me makes my soul cry on the inside. Causes my poor heart to bleed. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know how much you mean to me. How much you mean to me. I know when I see you, darling, my poor heart just skips a beat. I can't see you no other way than in this life of mine with me. I know I hurt you in the past, girl. For that I apologize. We both know I'm only human. Nobody's perfect in God's eyes. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know how much you mean to me. How much you mean to me. Together, if we can both cooperate with each other for a moment, then we may both see better days. And I don't even wanna fool you with these complex words of mine. No, in my eyes we're together. From now until I touch the sky. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know So this song I really wrote after a win, one of the few that I had when I was an athlete and a musician. And it's just about, the instant gratification of, the time clock going down and you have more points on the board than your opponent. And it's just a great feeling and it just goes straight to your head. And I thought about other things that go straight to your head. And here's the song. Like a quarter century since I let you get to me. Now what did you expect from me? The way that you affected me. You go to my head, straight to my brain. Every time you get in, nothing stays the same. Oh Lord. You haunt my dreams, I can't sleep. Every single night we meet. What did you expect from me? The way that you affected me. To my head, straight to my brain. Every time you get in, nothing stays the same. My dreams, I can't sleep. Every single night we meet. I wanna run, I try to flee. I try to flee. But you won't ever let me be. Never let me be. You go to my head. To my head. Straight to my brain. Straight to my brain. Every time you get in, nothing stays the same. Oh Lord. So I wrote this next song with Narda Michael Walden. For those of you guys who don't know who he is, very well-known producer, good friend of mine. We're actually going to let Alyssa feature on this one, so I'm going to hang back and play guitar.
the stairs and see. So I sit on the earth and wonder why, how I fell down from the sky. Life is a grind. Life is a grind, baby. All of the time, I gotta get away, get away. Life is a grind. Life is a grind, baby. All of the time, I gotta get away, run away. I try to anticipate when my troubles will dissipate. Sometimes life is tough, you know that, come on. Like a $2 steak, I said I really can't relate to the hate people throw in my face. Come on, I'm just trying to be great. So I sit on the earth and wonder why, how I fell down from the sky. Life is a grind. Life is a grind, baby. All of the time, I gotta get away, run away. I said life is a grind. Life is a grind, baby. All of the time, I gotta get away, run away. So I sit on the earth and wonder why, how I fell down from the sky. Life is a grind. Life is a grind, baby. All of the time, gotta get away. I said life is a grind. Life is a grind, baby. All of the time, I gotta get away, get away. It's a grind.
It's a grind, baby.
It's a grind.
It's a grind.
My guitar felt it too. It's a grind. So yeah, but privacy is pretty lonely sometimes, and that's what this next song is about. I'll play a song for you if you want me to. If you don't, I'll play it all the same. I don't let folks box me in cages, so my photo goes beyond the frame. I'd love to take you with me back to the planet that I call home. But I know you just get homesick and leave me all alone. Where did you go? I guess I'll never know. did you go? Where did you go? Where did you go? Wish I could right or wrong for you. Sincerely, I know what it's like to go through pain. I wrote this poem for you on a rainy day as my head rested on the window pane. It's hard to get my thoughts out sometimes. It's like it's driving me insane. The sun don't shine as brightly these days, or maybe I'm just further away. Where did you go? I guess I'll never know. What am I to do now that I'm all alone? Where did you go? Where did you go? Where did you go? I wanted all along to tell you truly, I just hate being alone. It doesn't help, surely, that I am so far from home. Counting down the days that I have left on this planet to roam. Don't make that face, you know you would be too if you were homesick and alone. Where did you go? I guess I'll never know. What am I to do now that I'm all alone? Where did you go? Where did you go? Where did you go? So yeah, that was a song called Alone. Like I said before, you know, it's about, I guess, forced privacy and also loss, you know. But moving on to a more upbeat note, this next song is called Moonbeam. Vince has a key solo on this one. Buckle up. Mistakes, I'm no perfect guy, but for you, girl, I'll always try. Always try. Just give me a chance, I'll prove it to you. But don't leave now, whatever you do. Please stay with me tonight. I hate it when we fight. Everything will be alright. If you stay with me tonight. You're my moonbeam, my sweet moon.
alright.
Will be alright.
If you stay with me tonight, you're my moonbeam, my sweet moonbeam.
Vince Wiley.
Giving up is so easy to do, but not this time, no, not on you. Not on you. Now I'm all in, hope I'm not alone. Not alone. And I hope you don't prove me wrong. Stay with me tonight. Stay with me tonight. I hate it when we fight. Everything will be alright. Be alright. If you stay with me tonight, you're my moonbeam, my sweet moonbeam. You're my moonbeam, my sweet moonbeam.
We had to stretch that one out a little bit to let y'all know that we know what we're doing, you know. Started off on the wrong note, but, you know, we came out of that thing on top. That's what it's about, you know, adversity, but that's not what we're here to speak about today. Anyway, that song is called Moonbeam. And I regret to inform you guys that we actually only have one song left. Aww. I know, I'm so sad. And with that, we got You're No Good For Me. It's a jazzy number, so get a couple cocktails going.
You hate it when I sing the blues. Well, what else would you have me do? My heart is pumping black and blue. My heart is crying out to you. Let you know you're no good for me. You're no good for me. You're no good for me. You're no good for me.
when I try to dance. Anytime I take a chance. Thought what we had was sweet romance. But now I gotta take a stand. Let you know you're no good for me. 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 Come back home. Come back home. I'm all alone. Come back home. You hate it when I say we're through. What else would you have me do? My heart is pumping black and blue. 'Cause there's no getting over you. Let you know you're no good for me. 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 Come back home. Come back home. I'm all alone. Come on. Thank you guys so much. Once again, before we get out of here, Alyssa Harris on, oh wait, let me do my verbs. The lovely Alyssa Harris on vocals, the melodic Vince Wiley on keys, the bombastic Brennan Howell on drums, and the magnificent Mario Castellanos on bass. With that, I want to thank the NFLPA one more time for having us. Thank you guys for watching. And thank you guys for supporting the Smocks and Jocks event too. You know, I really believe in what's going on. That's why we're here. Hope you guys are doing well, and I will see y'all soon. Peace.
Please welcome to the stage Andre Collins, PAF Executive Director and former NFL linebacker 1990 to 1999.
All right, man, that was awesome. Joe Barksdale, everyone. Boy, he just has a knack for really drawing me in. That was so good. A little bit of a Jimi Hendrix vibe going on right there. And if anyone knows me, they know how much I love Hendrix. So for the other 364 days out of the year, the PAF is working to help our former players, NFL community in very unique ways, in ways no other organization can help players. So for every piece sold in today's auction, that really helps us complete our mission of financial assistance for former players, mental wellness for former players, and other programs that really help former players transform from the game. A few last reminders, okay? Go to yourpaf.com, which is our website. Check us out, see what we do. You can also follow us on Instagram at yourpaf. That's just YOURPAF. There's still time to bid, so get on there, bid. Again, the auction will be open until Monday at noon. Don't forget to donate. We are a foundation. We don't really like to twist your arms, but donate, help us out a little bit. It really does help with our mission. For today, the sessions will remain open till just about 4 p.m. So you have just about another hour to enjoy some of the expo and some of the other things going on. I want to thank our sponsors just one more time. That's Cigna. Thank you so much. Alight, PRM Consulting, Epic Risk Management, and Aon. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to also thank Leslie Isler on our team for working so hard to pull this virtual event off. Also, her partner in crime, Laura Stefano, worked so hard. Tyrone Allen and Carol Banks on the back end, putting together information for me to present today. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully that was fun. Just a reminder, action creates opportunity. That's our motto at the Professional Athletes Foundation. I speak it to our players all the time. Action creates opportunity. That's it, folks. Have a great afternoon and a wonderful night.